Hello, my darling angel faces. This is the last installment for my little mini series on trauma and how to process, heal, and honor when you're having PTSD or those trauma loops that continue to come up over and over again. I've already talked on the mental aspects, I've talked on the physical aspects, so now I'd like to talk more on like the energetic, the spiritual, the more wooey type stuff, and how that relates to our emotions, and how that all comes to reflect in our bodies and stuff. So I'm going to tell a little bit of my current story. So the way that I'm approaching my trauma loop this time of year is it's funny because it wasn't intentionally for this when I booked a session with this person, but this woman came into my field that practices, it's a kind of form of body work that is mostly energetic, and it's called orthobionomy. I had never heard of it before. I still don't know anything about it. She just described it to me over the phone, and I was like, that sounds cool. I want to book with you right now. And so it's really this energetic technique that I've seen her for 2 sessions now. And the first one, she, I could tell how guarded I was. And she even talked about how guarded I was. She's like, normally a lot more things come to the surface with people, but you're just kind of like a locked box. And I said, I definitely felt that. And I felt that in a way that I don't think I've ever felt with another practitioner before. I felt so closed off from allowing her into my stuff, partially for fear of what she was going to find there. And I know better than to be worried about that. But that was a real legitimate fear. Like, what is she going to uncover? What is she going to feel? I don't want her to feel those things. Which, again, like, I don't need to worry about that because she's trained to handle that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was just guarded in so many ways, and so much more intensely than I've ever really noticed before. And I don't think it was because she's a bad fit, but I think it's because she's a perfect fit. And so all the things that normally I'm just subconsciously aware of, I felt comfortable enough to be in that space to be completely authentically me. And all of my stuff was just very loud in that moment. And the session was really beautiful and really moving, and I really enjoyed it, and I walked away being like, I don't know just what just happened, but I really fucking loved it, and I need more of that. So I booked another session, and I had it last night. And moving into like preparing myself for the session, I kept reminding myself that it's okay to release. It's time to release. It's time to soften. It's time to let go. I don't have to be guarded. And I had such a different experience with her yesterday. Such a different experience in the best way. And like all of that prep work I had done, all that self-talk I had done really made a huge impact on how I was able to experience this session. And it was fucking mind-blowing. So mind-blowing. But she still said, she was like, if a person was 100 layers, we still have about like 60 to 70 layers to go with you. And I could still feel all of the resistance in my body, but it's a process, it's a journey, right? So the energetic relationship that my being has to getting the help that I need is one of extreme resistance, because there's a fear of being hurt, right? There's a fear of being taken advantage of, which anybody who has trauma, like, that's usually the nature of trauma, is feeling taken advantage of and feeling violated. And to be spiritually violated, which is a big part of what I experienced 5 years ago. So that makes me even more at arm's length with letting people get close to me in that way. And it's just been really beautiful to be reminded of the importance of this work and our mindset going into this kind of work, and how freaking wildly important it is to find somebody that is your practitioner. It does take trial and error to find who your person is, and they might not be your person forever. They might just be your person for this one issue. But finding the person that can really tune into all that needs to be addressed without you feeling like you need to pretend that you're okay. Because I think that's very common in healing spaces, is that people aren't quite ready to be vulnerable, and so they don't really let themselves completely experience what the practitioner is offering. So find your people, find your team of practitioners that can help you dismantle the energetic patternings that happen through trauma, that, like, we're not supposed to do everything alone. Like, I do so much work on myself all the time around this stuff specifically, but we're not meant to do everything alone. Sometimes we need outsiders' perspective to truly understand what all is happening. And even today, like, I went through this incredibly mind-altering experience last night, and then today I decided to do some light stretching on the floor, and these words came to mind that just felt like I just needed to keep repeating them. And the words were, I'm ready to let my guard down. I'm ready to let my guard down. I'm ready to let my guard down. And I'm a practitioner of EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is, it's also known as tapping. And so it's tapping on different acupressure points while talking. And I was just like, I need to be tapping. I'm ready to let my guard down. I'm ready to let my guard down. I'm ready to let my guard down. I'm ready to let my, and I just did it over and over and over again, doing, just on repeat until I felt like I was done. But I was just like, this was just moments ago, and I was just crying, just tears streaming down my face, because it was there's so much relief, and there's just so much pent up emotions around the need to be guarded. And I actually made an entire course, my body love course, which is about like learning to love your body and learning to heal your relationship with your body. The first week is all about feeling safe. That's really like the foundation of that entire course, is the concept of feeling safe. So my life's work in so many ways is helping myself and others feel safe in themselves. And even though I have done all of this work, I still am guarded. I'm still guarded. And I'm still continuing to peel back all of these fucking layers, because it really might not ever end, and that's okay. And that's actually kind of beautiful, because I'm curious enough to keep going. But your spiritual, energetic, however you want to title that, your energetic relationship to yourself is such a huge component. And that's what I love about tapping, is that, because you're working with the acupressure points, your acupressure points correspond to the different meridians of the body. The meridians are the energy highways of our body. So the energy that flows through them is affected by our, it's affected by our trauma, whether or not that energy can properly flow through, or maybe it's blocked, or maybe there's too much energy in one and none in another. And tapping addresses all of those meridians. And so it's an incredible technique that tunes into talking about the problem and clearing out the energetic response that our body has to it. And then there's another technique that I teach people called matrix re-imprinting. That is, it's tapping while also being able to reframe the story in a different way so that we change the energetic relationship we have to the story in our bodies. And these are modalities that you can reach out to me about if you want to learn more about them. If you want to have a coach, I can be that coach for you. But also vocal toning is a really huge one that I've been using in the last month or so. Just the power of my voice and how our voice is known to be the most profoundly powerful tool that we have for recalibrating ourselves energetically or vibrationally. The voice is the most powerful tool we have to do that. And so vocal toning is like giving voice to the parts of ourself that are suffering, and it clears, it realigns, it restabilizes the parts in our body that are energetically disrupted. And those sessions that I've had with myself, of it's like, I'm not going to get into it too much, but it's a very intuitive process where you're just focusing on an area and asking, like, what sounds do you want to make? And, and just starting there and saying, like, these are the sounds it wants to make. I'm going to make that sound without judgment. And then allowing it to evolve. And, as you start to open up that area, more sounds are going to come out, and just following the flow of your voice. And it's been also very, very, very profoundly healing for me. And the things that have come out have really genuinely surprised me. So the energetic relationship that you have with your trauma, like those patterns in your auric field or in your chakras or in your meridians, I feel like we've talked about this before in other ways, but they're little sticky points that, other experiences that match that vibration are going to want to keep getting magnetized and stuck to you. So when we change our energetic body, we change what we're attracting. So the more that we clear this out, the more we do this work, the more we're going to have experiences that are not from a trauma-inspired place. And we're not going to have these repetitive trauma loops with different people but same experiences and all the shit that we don't want from having a trauma. So taking back your power, taking back your sovereignty in every single facet of your being and learning to feel safe. Learning to feel safe is everything. It really is. So I hope that this was enlightening. And again, I would love to help you in your journey of getting better. So if I feel like I'm a good match for you, please reach out. I would love to do one-on-one sessions with you, because I have so many tools at my disposal of the energetic and the mental and the physical sides. Like, I have the ability to help people in every arena, and I am very passionate about having all of these tool sets for that purpose alone. Like, I feel like I'm very fortunate to be able to approach people in a sense of wholeness. And I would love to be on that journey with you. So please do reach out to me if we feel like a good match. And if not, like, I can absolutely recommend other people. I have other people who work for me that I could recommend you to, or I know lots of practitioners in my area that could also be incredible healers for you. So, ones that I do trust, and I know do very good work. So, I hope that this little mini series was informative for you, and I'm wishing you all of the luck in healing that which you need.